Hi, and welcome to Transitional Changes Mission Podcast Show. This is your host, Queen Summers.
And your host, King Summers.
We thank you for tuning in with us tonight on this Sunday, January 17, 2021 episode.
And this 2021 episode is a branch off of 2020 show called Changes. This is Changes Part 2. Like I said in all the previous episodes, we have branches coming off of each episode, which is exciting. This show I really has been anticipating. Every time we have a show, it is always consistent with the current event of some type of change.
That's right. Each and every day, we're filled to the brim with stories about how the world is going to hell. War, poverty, pollution, all manners of atrocities are flung at us from all directions, and it's enough to draw even the most lighthearted person into a pit of despair. If you aren't taking any action to turn your life around now, chances are you will live the same routine for the rest of your time. Maybe life is uncertain for you now, but you are capable to take back control of your life, and listening to our show tonight is a step in the right direction.
It is a step in the right direction because sometimes it is good to meditate, to reflect. Like as we started the show out, I would start to say my condolence to all the fallen kings and queens and princes and prince that did not make it to 2021.
You don't have to follow any particular religion or philosophy to meditate, and nor does meditation have to involve sitting cross-legged on the floor while chanting in a language you don't understand. Ultimately, meditation is just a mindfulness practice that involves calming your thoughts and emotions so you can be in the present moment.
In this present moment, within 2021 that is different from 2020 was that we have a new president. It was the ending term of previous President Donald Trump, and now we have a new president, Joe Biden, with VP Kamala Harris, coming into 2021. There are many things to look forward to within this year. Like I said, we got a new president, we got stimulus checks coming, we got going back to work. A positive outlook is needed at all times. Like we stated in our previous show called Vaccines, which you can check out at podbean.com, speaker.com, anchor.com, and all the podcast players that's available. On that show, Vaccine, we was talking about how we can make a cure for the pandemic that's at hand. And that was to have an optimistic mind to change the future to whatever it could be, positive thinking. Whatever you think, your actions will do to change to the energy that you put outward to change the atmosphere, which is needed from everybody.
Absolutely. And when you meditate, that inner peace reflects upon all other facets of life. You may have more patience with others, or have greater self-esteem, or even just be able to appreciate the little bits of beauty you come across instead of being swamped by all the negativity in the world. You're probably quite vigilant with regard to disposing of garbage properly, but others might not be so conscientious. If you see a piece of trash laying around that someone may have tossed out their car window or just dropped on the ground, throw it out. Keep a pair of rubber or latex gloves in your bag if you don't want to touch anything that's potentially icky, but keep in mind that every little bit of effort helps when it comes to cleaning up our living spaces. If you live in Canada and love all things aquatic, consider getting involved with our partners at the David Suzuki Foundation's Great Shoreline Cleanup. Join forces with others to clean up rivers, lake shores, ponds, creeks, and even beaches along the ocean. There are similar initiatives in other countries, so just do a quick search for environmental cleanup groups in your area and get involved.
Because one thing that is new to the trash cycle that I have seen as I walk around is a lot of worn masses. Be courteous to the home that we live in. As your home, you don't want it to be dirty. So our main home is Earth. We sure enough don't want it to be dirty. So when you see a dirty mask, make sure that you put latex gloves on Use anything that is disinfectant before you bend down to pick it up. But be cautious about before when you have that mask in your pocket or don't being used, just don't throw it on the ground. Because I have seen a new wave of that. Maybe somebody could come up with a new idea or a service that can help the situation.
Mm-hmm.
That is a change that is happening right now. That's what this show is about. Previous change, which I would not try to elaborate about too much about last year, I would like to reflect on the present moment of 2021.
Have you ever been thirsty? I mean, truly parched. So thirsty that your throat started to close up and your lips were cracking and you thought you was just going to not just be able to breathe? Consider the fact that our bodies are comprised of nearly 70% water, and nearly all animals and plants require water to survive. Then think about the fact that only 2% of all water on Earth is drinkable, and a significant amount of that is now polluted because of all the crap we keep dumping into it. Every drop of chemical cleaner, every drop of hair dye, every drop of pesticide, paint, non-biodegradable laundry detergent, toilet bowl cleaner, etc., gets into the water system. And although the drinking water in cities is filtered a great deal, most of those toxins still leak into the soil and underground water table, killing life around the planet. People and animals all over the world often have to choose between dying of thirst and poisoning themselves with tainted water supplies. Be very conscious about what it is you pour down your drains or use on your lawns, and try to be as eco-friendly as possible. If you dye your hair, try plant-based dyes or henna instead. Instead of harsh household cleaners, all you really need is vinegar, baking soda, and essential oils. To help take action for clean drinking water, look into groups like Waterkeeper Alliance, which has chapters all over the world that you can get involved with.
That's what's needed. Yeah, especially in this year. Because this year, as we look back into last year we were just coming into this pandemic. We didn't really have enough knowledge to how to defend against it. But as we notice, with more knowledge being learned every day and expanding your mind and participating, we are maybe making a turn on it. Even though it do look a little worse with the numbers going up, but I think that contribute to a lot of holidays previously that we celebrated. And as we look into the future right now, we don't have as many holidays that is celebrated like the end of the year holidays. So maybe that could change the curve. Also, a lot of people is taking this pandemic a lot more serious, believing in the reality that's at hand, promoting or being vigilant with other people that is not participating. Maybe a person can lend a hand. I myself has been in places where people have actually asked me, do I have a mask? I do, because I carry extra ones with me. I also carry extra hand wash material with me. That is some of the things that is needed coming into 2021, because I believe that this year we will make this change with this pandemic. Not to say that it will go back to normal, but I think it will become more weaker and we will become more stronger, which is going to take a lot of optimistic mind state. That means that you have to prepare for the future every day. As we look at to the reality of today, this Sunday, there is a lot of change that is not accepted. Maybe like the storming of the Capitol. We got the president coming in this following week. That is a mixture of negative and positive. What I'm asking for the people to do is be more optimistic and focus on the positive and how you can make a change with that.
And I know one optimistic thing that's getting ready to happen, another round of stimulus checks. They said maybe 1,000, 1,400, 2,000. So anything is better than nothing at all, wouldn't you say, King?
Yes.
All right, so when you go into the grocery store in 2021, write a list of the items you normally buy and consider doing a bit of research on where these items come from. Does your favorite brand use mostly GMO ingredients? If you eat meat, is it from local sources where the animals are treated ethically? Are your eggs free range, or do they come from a place where the birds are crammed into small cages? Is the sugar you buy harvested by children? Are your organic vegetables picked by people who earn a living wage? Look into the sources of your food and determine whether you are contributing to the well-being of others or if your habits could be a little more compassionate.
Those are some of the things that you can look forward to into the future of budgeting. You can also write down futuristic budgets. You know, we got tax season coming around, and just like Queen Summers, you might have a stimulus check coming to you. Or you're just working and getting paid by the week. Do things different than this last year. I mean, if you didn't write down your budget, maybe try to write it down. When we have knowledge in front of us, you embrace that knowledge. Most of the time, that is from the past. For instance, I never did know nothing about the Spanish flu, or I could not recall it back, most likely. But as I started to do more research, I came upon the Spanish flu, like I explained in the show of vaccines. And when I did more studies of that Spanish flu, not to say it's the same or names changed like I did state in the previous show, but to say that it gave me knowledge to have hope. I mean, this country, this world have been through a lot of dramatic things in the billions of years that it has been existing. So by me learning the past and taking the knowledge to the future, it let me realize to always respect danger. But I take fear and turn it into a challenge. For instance, when I say be more optimistic, for example, of the Spanish flu, it seems like it's almost the same sequence of what this coronavirus is doing. I came out of that with positive energy. That led to me to lead into a positive future. By me promoting on this podcast to have everybody change their emotions, their inner self, their unconscious, and their conscious to positive energy.
That's right. And if you are enjoying our show this evening, please write to us at tcmissionspeaks@gmail.com or visit our website at www.transitionalchangesmission.wordpress.com.
And you can also call us now at 910-985-9090. Write to us, give us some examples of how you have taken in the previous years or experiences of your past to how you have changed that up to now. And also, I would like to say, as I was stating, that I took in fear and making it into a challenge. When that comes to you, change it into a challenge. Don't let it stop life. It's a difference from being rebellious to a system, this being against anything that's the norm of a trend. So I would say change it into a challenge. Like, for instance, this year is coming in with a bang. With all the changes that's coming in from last year and with the hope of things being put into the system to have people to have hope, it has strived people more to have optimistic with their family. Yes, change has came to where you can't do the normalcy of where you was being socialized with a lot of people, but companies that are offering service are changing how to combat with the change. Meaning with the internet service or anything of that nature.
Right. There are many different ways to donate your time to others. So don't feel that you have to put yourself in a position where you are uncomfortable with in order to make a difference. Some people might be happy working in soup kitchens or helping street youth, while others may not. And that's totally okay. There are volunteer opportunities for people of every age, profession, and physical ability. If you like the outdoors, consider doing some volunteer work to help clean up parks. Are you an animal lover? Offer to walk dogs at an animal shelter a few times a month, or maybe help to campaign for the World Wildlife Fund. Are you a super busy professional? Consider donating an hour or so a month to help mentor young people online who wish to follow in your footsteps. If you're crafty, you can use up spare yarn by knitting